Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Katie and today we are unboxing and creating with the November Upcrate. So let's take a look inside, shall we? We have a picture of a ship and that ended up being an advent calendar, a little mini one, and I think that is so cool. I absolutely love that, so I'm going to assume that's this month's gimmick. And judging at a quick glance at the print that's come with it, it's a calligraphy one. And although I'm not a fan personally of doing calligraphy, I love the print that's in this, and that is by the artist Warrios. So let's see what we've got to recreate this with. Yes, it is calligraphy pens. So we have two calligraphy pens by Artline, and one is black in a 5.0 and the other one is in a red. We have a Faber Castell Gold Faber HB pencil. We have a pack of Faber Castell calligraphy pens and they are in 5 colours. Two big chunky pens by Artline, which I'm going to assume are like a marker pen. And the surface we've got, which I'm quite excited about, is the Art Space Sonic Wall. I'm going to assume, because this is a heavy marker based project box, that this Sonic wallpaper is going to be like that Canson wallpaper that I like, and marker pens are not supposed to go through it, so we shall see if this is just as good. We also have the newcomer item, which is the Battle Post magazine, and yeah, it's quite enjoyable to read. There's information about the materials along with facts and snippets about the mediums and the history behind them, and a few other bits and pieces, as well as featuring artists that have won the Upcrate battles. Man, I wish that had been round when I won the Upcrate battle. But I can't grumble, I'm still pleased that I managed to win that whole year ago. Of course, we've also got the stickers, which are on a sticker sheet now, and again, I'm loving that format. So, swatching these beauties out, well, the pencil's a pencil, and I'm pretty sure we've looked at the Faber-Castell Gold Faber ones before. You draw a line, it's on the paper, you can erase it. The calligraphy pens, the slim red one, which is the 1.0, that does have a slight chiselled edge to it, which surprised me because to look at initially it just looks like a normal liner pen. However, when writing with it, yes, you can definitely tell there's an edge there. It's thicker Big Brother in the size 5 in black. It's pretty obvious it is. Now, these big chunky boys, which I really struggled to get the cap off, I was half expecting having to shake these to activate them, but they are actually a felt tip. There's no paint or ink sloshing around inside, which really surprised me, but boy oh boy, they're a bit pongy, they do smell. So I imagine if you're a little sensitive to these things, just be mindful and perhaps have a window open or something. However, they laid down very nicely on this paper, and that red's lovely and vibrant. Now, the next up on the list are the Faber-Castell calligraphy pens. They come in 3 colours. You have black, white, sanguine, I never know if I'm saying that right or not, and indantharine blue. Again, I don't know if I said that right or not either. They are pretty much like the Pitt pens, but obviously they have that chiselled nib, so you can get that calligraphy effect should you wish. As you can see by my swatching, not a strong point of mine. Handwriting isn't, I'm afraid, and calligraphy, it just looks even worse when I try. But I'm not going to let that put me off. Like I say, calligraphy is not a strong point of mine. It's not something I particularly partake in, and boy, I have tried. But I'm pretty sure I can do something with these. Now, as for the paper, I did check, and I'm pleased to inform you that nothing came through on the other side. I mean, how cool is that? Look at that, it is crisp and white. This month's Upcrate battle topic is, I have something to say. Now, I'm pretty sure this prompt is to encourage me to do some form of calligraphy, but, well, we won't go into that again. However, I thought I would do this character, which is going to be a fish, and perhaps use these pens in a calligraphy way for my mark making. You never know, with all this practice and getting used to these pens, I might transfer this to writing one day. Now, the thing I noticed about these pens is the obvious chisel tip on there, or the flat nib, whatever you want to call it. You can only really use them in one direction. I know that sounds a bit weird, but when it came to doing swirly shapes, it'd go from a thick line to a thin line to a thick line again, and I found that very weird. But that's not to say that I can't get any use out of these pens, because I can have a very thick line with it, as long as I go in one direction. Or if I hold it on its side, I can create a very fine line with it. So I'm not going to grumble. I like these. I kind of like the colour selection as well. So I created a wavy background for the water effect for behind the fish, obviously, and for the fish itself I thought I would go in there with lots of details on the fins, really create a sense of movement by using different thicknesses of lines, because I can. And even though the art line thin calligraphy pen and the big chunky red pen are ever so slightly different, they actually still blended and matched up really well for what I wanted. And I really like how this red contrasts against the blue. I didn't think it would work, but it does. Just to add a little bit more depth into it though, I did go around some of the areas on the fish in black, again just to add depth and a bit more texture really, and I think this was really nice and effective. I also added finer lines in between those thick lines on the waves in the background there, again just to add a little bit more to the page and add a little more colour, I guess. But I'm quite pleased with how that worked too, so I'm not going to grumble. It's just exploring these materials and seeing what I can do with them. I also decided a fish isn't a fish without any scales, so I used that sanguine, the orangey colour, to just add some slight details in there on the scales, just to suggest them rather than outright drawing every single one in there. And again, using that same pen for the eye details too. I really quite like the versatility of these. They're not something I would actually have picked myself, and to be able to try them, that's pretty cool. I also noticed through the Battle Post magazine that they have the prices next to the items now, or what they'd retail for, and I'm quite impressed actually by how much value you do get for these boxes. Again, not items I'd pick myself, but it's nice to be able to have a chance to give them a try, I suppose. And this paper, so unlike the Canson wool, it does have a bit of a texture to it, but I am so impressed that it has not gone through. It's like a marker paper, which is like normal paper. Now, as this has a theme of something to say, I put an exclamation mark in that bubble because that's all I could think that this fish would want to say. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it useful and given you a sneak peek what's inside the box. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!